Okay, guys, let's talk about Suki. Thanks so much for taking care of Lorena. And I don't like these disgusting bloody deaths that happen on True Blood. I prefer like the dust explosion deaths of the vampires that they would have on Buffy. Like I like those. These are gross. And what was it? Was Lorena's blood toxic? Like why did Bill pass out? I didn't get that. Now, she has no blood type, which as a doctor I think I would have been pretty freaked out about. Um, oh, and the other thing about right before she staked Lorena, I remember some movie, and I don't remember what movie it was. It talked about how soft vampires were and how you didn't have to, you know, you didn't have to really work to stake them. And of course, I'm most worried about her, which is why I'm sure she paused. She didn't want to stake Bill while she's staking Lorena. So you gotta be careful with that if you're staking two at the same time. Um, let's see. Bill not being able to control himself. Is that because he was so far gone? She'd been torturing him so much? But that was pretty messed up. Oh, and bye-bye Cooter. Pour a little bit out for him. I liked him. He was a good bad guy. So I'm kind of sorry to see him go. I personally would have preferred if they had taken care of Debbie and then Cooter would have been even angrier. Like, to me, that would have been better. I don't want to see Debbie anymore. I really don't. I know it's supposed to be some conflict for Alcee, but they could have took care of her and left Cooter. Let's see. Oh, clearly, I guess she's supposed to be a fairy. Now, this is what I've heard rumors of, but well, fairies obviously have some sort of power. She can like zap people off of her, but I don't know. Fairyland was kind of lame looking, in my opinion. It would have been cooler if it hadn't necessarily been outside. It could have been someplace, more modern and air conditioned. I don't know. But like the romping around in the field, I don't know. I didn't like it. I'm not a fan of fairies in general. So if you love fairies, you're probably all over this storyline. I just personally am not. So that's what we found out, and that Bill is the darkness. So we'll see what happens and if she can stop screaming next week. What was up with Bill not bursting into flames? Is that what happens when you drink fairy blood? Because he was standing out there like a good 40, 50 seconds before he actually started to smoke, and he only started to smoke a teeny tiny little bit. Like I said before, was Lorena's blood toxic? Is that why he passed out? And him, I don't know. There's going to be repercussions about him not being able to stop drinking from Suki. There already were with Tara kicking him out of the car. But at the same time, is Suki going to be able to trust him again? I know the fairies kind of put it into her mind, I guess, that he was the darkness, and he is the darkness. But, it's not that band, The Darkness. I just thought of that. But is that why she started screaming and couldn't stop, or because of her own realization that yes, he's evil and couldn't stop? I don't know. So we'll have to see. Rough and tumble, Tara is back, kicking Bill out of the van, rushing Debbie Pelt. I am so happy with this Tara. She needs to continue. So yeah, just happy with this Tara. I love how Lafayette told Jason and Tara to stop cursing at Suki in the hospital. He did that really nice Inuit Eskimo prayer, and that was it. We really didn't get too much of Lafayette this week, except for he just came to the hospital. It was hilarious with him and Jason in the kitchen, though. And Jason's like, no, 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 I don't want NEV. I just need some crystal meth. And Lafayette was like, excuse me. So they had a good interchange there. And then, him hanging with them at the hospital was also nice. So he still doesn't know, all the drama that Tara's been through. So wait, they can swap vampire imprisonment stories together. That'll be great. Since we got more than our share of Eric last week, we didn't get a lot of Eric this week, except when we were in the Queen's awesome, I love that fake sunroom that she has. I absolutely love it. I've mentioned this before. Now, he drags in Hadley, and she's just like, yeah, go ahead, have a snack. And even Eric is surprised. He's like, you've kept her around a long time. What's the deal? And she still wasn't even going to give it up. Hadley's the one that had to tell Eric what Suki is. So I forgot she was Sookie's cousin. I totally forgot about that. So, yeah, and it's not in their entire bloodline. So Hadley's not a bit of whatever Sookie is. I guess not. But the queen in that birdcage, like, I didn't understand. Is she gonna have to stay in that all the time so she doesn't run away? That's not gonna be cool. One more thing about Eric. Did you notice his ears were bleeding? Both of his ears were bleeding, and then the queen, her nose was kind of starting to bleed. I don't understand why that was going on. Did you guys notice that? Leave in the comments if you know why that was happening. I don't understand that. I totally missed it last week that Crystal's boyfriend was the one that had jumped Lafayette when he was hanging out with Jesus. I did not see that at all. Remember, I assumed that he had been dogfighting. I didn't put two and two together. I just really didn't. That's basically all I have to say about Jason. He's head over heels in love with Crystal, who I heard a couple of spoilers about what she is, and whatever. I don't know. I just don't care. This storyline does not interest me at all. So we're gonna move on. While we didn't get any Jessica this week, we did get a little bit of Hoyt. He and Jason were hanging out in his apartment, and Summer comes over, the girl he was having dinner with, that he tried to make Jessica jealous with, comes over with a plate of biscuits and homemade biscuits, homemade butter, homemade preserves. Now, whatever you want to say about Summer, I mean, that was impressive. As Jason pointed out, he gave her his vote. Like, yeah. So, Hoyt's not doing anything else. He can date Summer for now until he figures out what's going on with Jessica. All he has to say is just like, let's just take it slow, blah, blah, blah. And in the meantime, she can cook and clean up. I don't see the problem with that. That was really brave of Sam rushing out to infiltrate the dogfight, because you're not going to have the classiest bunch of people at a dogfight. Of course, they're going to be on guard. Like, there was literally a guard there, because what they're doing is illegal, and they know it, and they will shoot you to prevent you from telling on them. So I was worried after the guy took his gun, but then of course he had to go undercover as a dog, and that was perfect. They totally picked him up to put him in the ring, and then I didn't know what he was going to do. I didn't know if he was going to change when he got in the ring, but that made sense that he just jumped the guy after the guy took him to the stables or whatever. I loved how he told Tommy, I can't promise you a perfect life, but I can promise you one better than this. And that was the just honest to God truth. And him mentioning Jolie's saggy underpants just spoke for all of us that do reviews of True Blood. Thank you, Sam. We just love it that you mentioned that. Too bad they couldn't arrest everybody there. They were all in the wrong, every single one of them. But I just love how he took Tommy, and how as they were riding home, like, there was nothing to say. It's just like, hopefully this is the last we see of the Mickens. The mother realized she was wrong. Even when Jolie was like, we go get him back, she was just like, shut up, shut up. So, good for you, Sam. Tommy can help you out. Everything's going to work out. I had to give Russell his own card, because he is becoming such a major force on this show. And my main complaint with Russell this week is that he wants to have his cake and eat it too. Now, he's all against the authority, took care of the magistrates, which there has to be some repercussions with this. I know there are other vampires like Russell that are like, what are we bowing down to humans for? If we all got together, we could take them out. We are the ones with all the power. But then there are other vampires that are also, we need to stay with the hierarchy of who's the oldest and who's the strongest. And there needs to be rules and regulations and order. And Russell seems to want both halves of this. He doesn't want to do what anybody tells him to do, but he wants to reap the benefits of the rules and regulations that have been set into place. By that, I mean he wants to marry Sophie, and so that their property can be joined and he can rule over her territory. That is a rule, regulation, bylaw that has been put into effect by the authority. Yet he doesn't want to recognize the authority, but he wants this rule that's been made by the authority to work for him. So that's my problem with Russell. You can't have it both ways. if you want to ignore the authority and not do anything they say, then you can't join forces with somebody by marrying them and get their stuff. That's my problem with him. And what else? I loved how Pam was still cracking jokes while she's being tortured by the Magister. That was Pam, ice cold. And how old was the Magister? So clearly he wasn't as old as Russell. Is Russell ticked off about that the Magister's not as old as he is, and he's getting through suck-ups, I guess. Maybe he has the position he has. I don't know. I want to find out more about the authority and the hierarchy of the authority, which I'm sure we're going to after all this drama, because I know they're going to be like, what happened to the Magister? So we shall see. I don't know. Russell is something else. I couldn't really get a good look at Pam's outfit this episode. I did like that little locket she had on, and most of the people were wearing what they were wearing last week. So I am going to give outfit of the episode to Hadley, because I like that little outfit, the skirt or top, or I think it was a full dress that she was wearing in the Queen's fake sunroom. So outfit of the episode goes to Hadley.